I am Eldlaine Pasqual, and I am with Miss Krizza Guinto and Miss Shanley Ignacio. For today, we will share what we have learned in the module and share our thoughts or insights with regards to the specific topic that has been tackled. These are philosophical perspective, sociological and anthropological perspective, psychological perspective, and the self in Western and Eastern thoughts. So, let's go! Have you ever been a stranger to yourself? Every time I encounter this, I tend to ask myself if I really know who I am. Thus, knowing what I don't know is what true wisdom is, as with connection to the belief of Socrates. Socrates also apprehend that knowledge begins with self-discovery. For him, every man must strive for knowledge, as this is the prerequisite to virtue. Hence, recognizing own limitations in terms of knowledge and understanding, both what actually could know and what still need to learn, must be a crucial component of knowing oneself. Humans are remarkably poor judges of themselves. The phrase "know thyself" is centuries old, but it's still one of the essential meta skills of the 21st century. Though a lot of interpretations occur with regards to this, it is no wonder that we are sometimes strangers to ourselves, even despite our best efforts and intentions to show or to know and understand ourselves to be the most authentic versions of who we are as much as possible. All through this, a lesson was discovered, and this is to take a moment to find yourself. Disregard everything that is happening outside yourself and stop looking into the future so we can disconnect from the external world and society that affect our being. Let us all be true to ourselves so we can know thyself.
Describe the Filipino self using the inputs of sociological and anthropological perspectives. From a sociological and anthropological perspective, we believe that the Filipino self demonstrates how to be a true Filipino by knowing your culture and being proud of it, not only mentally, but physically. Knowing your culture implies that we have a community, a culture behind us, supporting us, and propelling us forward. When people see us, they will immediately assume that we are Filipinos due to our actions and physical appearance based on our culture. Filipinos are friendly. We are friendly. So, it is easy to tell if someone is a Filipino or not. One of the most well-known characteristics of us Filipinos is our friendliness. Foreign visitors who visit the Philippines fall in love with the warm hospitality they receive. While one mental way is that being friendly and welcoming to foreigners is a trait of being a Filipino. Filipinos are generous people. Even when we have very little, we always share with those around us. And by doing so, we become the true Filipinos that we are. Describe your real and ideal self, and what are the things you need to do to experience congruence. My real self is that I am a gentle, patient, shy, observant, polite, energetic, and understanding person. Being your real self is who you truly are as a person. Regardless of your occupation or the influence of others, it is an honest representation of you. When you are your whole real self, you inspire others to feel safe enough to share more of themselves. My ideal self is I want to graduate from college, pass the board exam, be a registered nurse in the future, be a daughter of my parents who is successful and brings her family to wealth, have a successful life, and make my own family someday. I also want to be an independent person who can stand on her own without any help from others, and solve any problems that a person may encounter. However, the things I needed to do to achieve congruence were to always be myself, accept my flaws, admit when I'm wrong, and always pay attention to how I felt. And I believe that the most important thing to achieve congruence is by learning from my mistakes and accepting that you are wrong.
Everything began the moment we were born, when we began to form our identities, including who we should be, what we ought to care about, and how we ought to interact with those around us. As it proved out, our responses to these questions are significantly influenced by the culture in which we were raised. How people regard the individual in relation to the group is one of the key differences between Eastern and Western cultures. Western societies are recognized for adopting the me culture, also known as the individualistic culture. Examples of these societies include the United States, Australia, and the majority of Europe. Based on the term me, these societies tend to concentrate on the individual more. They hold that each person is in charge of their own well-being. Their circle of responsibility extends only to their immediate family. On the contrary, Eastern societies, including China, Japan, and the Philippines, embrace the collectivistic culture, or in other term, the we culture. Individuals who live in a collectivistic culture place a higher value on their social connections and sense of community. These networks could include of close friends, close neighbors, and extended families. We become the people we are now as a result of the differences between the me and we cultures. It aided in the formation of our cultural identities, which categorize us as either individualists or collectivists. There is no definite right or incorrect way to see people as opposed to organizations. It's possible that what works in one culture won't in another. Understanding the differences between these two cultures has helped me to be more considerate and accepting of other people because our cultures may be very different. Anyway, the only thing that counts is that we respect one another. To develop a distinct identity as an individual, one must first understand oneself. The knowledge we gain in this subject was crucial to developing a thorough grasp of who we are. We have learned the value of respecting the norms, beliefs, and values that differ primarily to geographic distribution by learning about our culture as Filipinos and the many cultures of other nations. As a result, we are now familiar with a wide range of theories that can help us distinguish between our real selves and ideal selves.